Welcome to From the Driver's Seat, an Averitt podcast for all Averitt associates to keep up with news and information across our network. Make sure to subscribe on your preferred podcasting app so you'll be sure to be notified the moment a new episode drops. And now, Director of Driver Services and hosting From the Driver's Seat, David Broyles.
Hey everybody, it's David Broyles. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, we got a great podcast today. Before I get into that, I wanted to make sure that everybody enjoyed Operation Thank You Week, and it's a great week for us. It's an opportunity for us to say thank you to all of our associates throughout the business units, and we do appreciate everything y'all do. And so I hope you enjoyed it. It was a good week, had a lot of fun, a lot of opportunities, some food, and a lot of good fellowship. So enjoyed it. Look forward to it again next year. But, interesting that I think Averitt's always had Operation Thank You. It's every week of the year. We always show our appreciation, I feel, for the associates and what they do. So thank you for everything. But anyway, hey, I got Scott Ulmer today. Hey, Scott, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. So obviously I have Scott Ulmer, and I've got a black shirt with an On Tour on it. We're here to talk about OTL, right?
We are.
Makes it easy when you look over there and you see the black and the OTL. Talk a little bit about the black uniforms. We see folks with OTL. They always wear black. Why black?
We try to be invisible.
Okay.
Crew people, stagehand personnel, stuff like that at a show. If you've ever been to a concert, you don't want to see a guy wearing neon green in the background. He's going to stand out pretty good.
Right.
So crew people and everybody in our industry have always worn black. They blend in. You can't see them. They're invisible. So we kind of mirrored that image just to still try to fit in as well. And it don't show dirt quite as much.
Don't show dirt that much, huh?
So.
Well, hopefully y'all don't get too dirty out there anyway, right?
We try not to. So.
Well, OTL's grown for us over the years. It's, from when we first started way back when, and I think it was one truck back then
we did a one truck tour in 2012, and it's grown from there.
Grown from there, right? Yeah. Really has. How many drivers do we have this year?
Currently, our roster is around 115.
115. Mm-hmm. And, we're looking to grow that, obviously.
We are.
I think we're always looking to say, hey, what can we do to grow OTL? Mm-hmm. And, we've got a niche, and we've got a good reputation in the industry, right?
We do. We are 12 years into this, and I like to tell everybody we do have a seat at the big table. So we do.
People know who we are now, right?
They do. When we're in these conferences that we go to now, we are one of the major players, and we're not the new guys anymore. So we do a good job. We won the Parnelli Award 2024 for Trucking Company of the Year in Los Angeles, and that is all industry voted on. So we were pretty proud of that. So currently we have the biggest country tour in the U.S. right now with Morgan Wallen. So I think we do pretty good.
How many trucks is Morgan Wallen? How many trucks were running with Morgan Wallen?
34 left out last night.
34. That's amazing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
It's like a small trucking company almost,
it
right?
Is.
34 trucks. That's like a small trucking company going out and delivering it.
And 100% red trucks on it.
100% red trucks. That's always great, right?
It is.
It's it's really grown. It's a niche market for us, but I think what's interesting is the difference there's a little difference in the drivers, I think,
mm-hmm.
And some of the myths that people say, hey, I don't know if I want to do OTL or not. People out there might be thinking, say, do I want to drive OTL? Because they think, hey, I got to leave in March and I'm not coming back till October,
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really the facts, right?
No, I always tell everybody the possibility is there, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
If you're on a Nashville-based country tour, the tour is going to come back and forth in and out of Nashville. And if you're on different rock tours, rap tours, or any of the events that we do conventions, church events, political events, you might be near your domicile on one of those breaks.
Right.
So you do have a chance to go home then. Most of our stuff is Nashville-based, and they're always going to come through Nashville at some point. And there's breaks all throughout the country during the tours. So are you away from home 6 months at a time? I'm going to say the answer is, for the most part, is no.
No.
You are going to get home. Now, how regular, that's the answer. That's the unknown. Every tour is different, and also it depends on where you're domiciled. If you live in Nashville, you're going to get home fairly regular.
Right.
If you are the extreme points in the Averitt footprint, it may be not as regular. But every tour or event that we do is all different, so there is no rhyme or reason to it. But no, you will not be gone from your home 6 months. I will say the possibility is there,
Right.
but it rarely happens.
Right.
So,
Just let's talk about like the regular life of an OTL driver,
Okay.
for instance. What happens? Okay, first of all, when a driver comes in and wants to be OTL, they have to go through a separate orientation first,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
What do y'all do? What kind of orientation y'all do there?
It's kind of a crash course of just life on the road and touring. We do bring you to the OTL facility in Nashville, and we just go through life on the road. What's different compared to truckload, dedicated, city, different things like that. And the terminology is different. The way it's still truck driving,
Yeah.
but you're hauling electronic equipment, video, sound, lights, different things like that. The load securement is different. The way we load it and unload it, everything is on wheels. So it's just different. Everything's not palletized. So we kind of go through those processes and why we do certain things and just life on the road. So it's kind of a crash course. And then the second day is all hands on of the securement of the load, the loading, the unloading of, how we do those certain things. And then the radio control backing on multi-truck tours. There's always a guy with a handheld radio helping you back in, for safety and efficiency and things like that. So that's kind of what the OTL class is comprised of.
You talk about the loading and the unloading, and of course, we try to stay away from drivers having to touch freight. But when you say unloading and loading and all that, do they really unload and unload, or what do they do?
The main job of an OTL driver is to supervise and assist only. Their job is to make sure that the load is secured with the straps and the load bars. So that is the main job. There will be crew people and stagehands and union stagehands that will do the physical part of the unloading and the loading, but the OTL driver's job is to be in the trailer, but it's more to supervise.
Make sure everything's got a place.
Everything's got
right?
a place. Everything's got to go in a certain order. But the main job is the securement of it. Everything we haul is on wheels. So now it is the driver's job to secure it with the straps and the load bars.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
If you're going to drive it, you want to make sure it is secure, right?
Yeah,
You don't want that stuff rolling around. Too
Right.
expensive to be rolling around and bumping into each
That's
other.
right. When the doors close, it's your load.
Yeah, it's your load at that point,
Yeah.
right? And, typically how much, do you drive thousands of miles in a week, or do you drive what? What's an average week, I guess?
Every tour is different. Some of the smaller acts that, just from a logistical standpoint, you might do a show on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and, you can't drive too far in one night, for, DOT hours of
Right.
service, but you physically can't move that much stuff and then set it up the next day. Typically it's just 300 or 400 miles a night on some smaller stuff. If you're on the really big stuff or the major arena acts or even the stadium acts, you have 2 or 3 days to do that 400 or 500 miles because you can only move so much stuff, and set it up in time.
Right.
So the very big acts and the big concerts, you've got 3 or 4 days to get to the next town. And some of the smaller acts, you might drive a few hundred miles each night, and you'll do that for 2 or 3 nights a week. Then there's probably a 2 or 3 day break after that. So you're not driving, a huge amount of miles every single night, 7 days a week. That's not what we do.
So obviously we're not paying these guys by the mile,
No,
right?
not paying them by the miles. You are not chasing miles. There's a lot of times you are just sitting there waiting on the next show.
Right.
So
But we pay them for sitting there,
you're
right?
getting paid to sit.
and it's good money. We pay salary. We
Pay on
basically.
salary. It is a daily rate, weekly rate that it is a salary. So there's a lot of times the tour may have a break on the West Coast or anywhere in the U.S.
Right.
And it could be upwards of a week or longer. You're still getting paid.
That's always a plus,
That
right?
is a plus.
Well, let me ask a question. If we do have a long run, let's say you got to go from Miami to somewhere out in Phoenix or something, you got to be there in 2 or 3 days. What do we do? How do we get them there?
We do team drives. We try to limit it as much, but that is up to the customer. They are the ones that set the schedule. They are the one that book it. But let's just say you have a scenario, you do have to go from Miami to Phoenix, and you've only got 3 days to do it. We will fly a driver in. He will get in the truck with you, help you drive to Phoenix, whether it, in that particular case, it may be 2 to 3 driving shifts per driver, get you to Phoenix, put you up in a hotel, fly you back home.
There you go. So I mean, it's not like you're having to drive forever with the team,
No,
but
no,
you
we
do
do not
need to
do
be you need to be acceptable to that because it
Right.
might happen.
It could happen. Like I said, we try to limit it as much as possible, but that is strictly up to the customer's request. But like I said, fly in, fly out, may do one driving shift, maybe two, and get you back in your truck.
You know, you mentioned a minute ago, maybe you're on the West Coast and you got 5, 6, 7 days to sit, you know. What does the driver do during that time frame?
Whatever they want to do.
And that's interesting, right?
That is interesting. Now, you know, I like to tell everybody you're still getting paid to drive that red truck.
Right.
So, but in essence, you're off for a little while, but you're getting paid to stay out there, and that's some of the perks. That's some of the good days. And you know, if you have to get a 34-hour reset, you might have to do that. But you know, within reason, go out and sightsee. Go out and enjoy the sights and the sounds, and you know, go have a little fun. But you know, be responsible, of course. But yes, that does happen quite often.
Yeah, I've noticed some drivers before, but be up in New York, I guess, at Madison Square Gardens, and they were up there 3 or 4 days, and they've been out and they were taking pictures and out in New York City. Never been to New York City before, and everything. So yeah, it's kind of cool if you get to tour a little bit and see some of that. But when the driver's on tour, when he's on tour, and let's say he's at the concert, does he get front row seats, or what do we do there?
My answer to that is no.
Okay.
Our job is to drive the truck point A to point B. You take care of those responsibilities. Of course, eat and shower. Then you got to get your rest. Now, that we do have a lot of shows that you are there at a particular venue for multiple nights. Now, that is up to the particular tour, whether drivers and non-essential personnel, as far as that goes, can they come to the shows? Most of the time, it's a yes. You know, you may not be on the front row. You might be up in the nosebleed section, but, you know, a lot of tours, it's okay to go see the show.
Right.
But, you know, as long as your responsibilities are done and you're not driving that night, you know, because you got to get your rest. But, yeah, there's a lot of cool events that you get to see, whether it be a show or a particular event or a festival that we're at, different things like that. But I always encourage everybody to enjoy that part of it.
The other thing is, let's talk a little bit more. You know, some of the things I've learned when I've talked to drivers is the camaraderie of the group that travels together, because we don't put drivers out onesies, twosies, especially new drivers. They're out 3 or 4 drivers, right?
Correct.
So I've always heard, hey, the camaraderie is really tight.
You are a family out there. I mean, you have to be a team player and be willing to be part of a big team, because on a multi-truck tour, you'll be out with other Averitt drivers. There's bus drivers, there's crew people, there's local crew people. And if you're at a festival or a big show, then there's tens of thousands of people. But you will be part of a big crew and a big family, and it's a traveling circus that you're a part of.
And a lot of drivers that I've talked to, I know there's a lot of people that the same crew, sometimes the same group of drivers hauls for the same people every year.
Sure.
Like
they do.
I forgot, I was thinking about Jeff Richardson.
Jeff Richardson with Jake Owen has been with Jake for almost 13 years now.
Right.
With basically the same core group of the crew people, and Jeff is just part of the family.
I know. And that's really cool though. I think, that they build that relationship, kind of the customer to us. It's kind of like a customer relationship in a way, right?
We do. I mean, like Toby Eaton's lead driver for Old Dominion.
Yeah.
And Toby is ingrained in that camp. They lean on Toby to help them make that tour successful, and he's a big part of it. And he helps make some of the big decisions, whether it become to routing and scheduling and things like that. And, Travis out on Morgan Wallen and Ed Coward out on Chris Stapleton, they are a big part of that crew and family and decision-making process. So they are a vital team member to that.
And, that really does say a lot for Averitt. We've got quality people, great people out there. And so that customer relationship, that helps solidify where we're going to be every year after year after year. We're going to be working with those folks for a long time to come, I would think, because we have that relationship.
Sure, and that's I like to say our drivers are a very big part of the Averitt culture, and I think that's one of the keys to our success.
I think it is. I think, the Averitt driver. So, what do you want to tell drivers that are watching today and they're thinking, hey, I think I might want to do this. I think I'm interested in OTL. What do I need? What do you want to tell those folks?
Just get the information. Ask questions. Talk to a driver support specialist or call somebody within OTL, and just get the information and then make a decision from there. Come to OTL class. We tell everybody we're going to give you the information, and you decide then. But ask a lot of questions. We're going to be totally transparent. If it's for you, great, we'll move forward. If it's not, that's okay too. There's so many other opportunities in Averitt, but just call and get all the information you can. We'll be glad to answer any questions that you have, and just, you process that information and see if it's for you.
Yeah, I know they've done some stuff with Inside Averitt, and they've got the OTL. They can go to Inside Averitt, look up the OTL, and there's a form in there you can fill out now, and they can fill that form out. And it gets that information, and somebody's going to reach out to you and talk to you about that kind of stuff too. That's another way. That's another method of finding out more about OTL. But I agree with you. Hey, find out all you can. If you got questions, now's the time.
Sure.
If you're looking for it, and you may not get into tours till midsummer now if you come on board at this point, but you'll be in line next year too.
Absolutely.
To go to OTL, and so it's really it's a niche market, but I think the drivers love it. I think it's a good market for Averitt.
It is. It is. The strength of Averitt is one of the keys to our success, and like I said, we've been successful with it so far, and we're going to keep trying to grow it and make it better.
Yeah, and we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot at we got the OTL warehouse going on, and a lot going on in Nashville. Y'all are moving a lot of production equipment, and that's something else too. Sometimes you may be doing a production runs where you're not even on the tour, right?
Correct. I mean, we do a lot of, we call them production runs. It's just a one-off. It could be one show or one festival somewhere, or we could take from a customer location in Nashville to another location they have in Orlando or Vegas. That's just a one-off. We do different events, whether it be for, political or church. I mean, we've got 4 trucks out on a cheerleading competition right now. So it's not like a traditional music tour.
Right.
So you could just be doing from A to B and then back to Nashville. And then we have a huge local operation in Nashville. But like for CMA Fest, we might have 25 to 30 loads in downtown Nashville that's strictly from local customers that we're responsible for. Different events from July the 4th to the CMA Award Show, different award shows. There's conventions in Nashville, and we might have anywhere from 1 to 21 loads at the Music City Center in Nashville.
Right.
So huge local presence. We do have the OTL warehouse where we do storage now, and that's where all the equipment is based out of in Nashville. So it's pretty busy around there.
Well, it's a great tour. It's a great business unit. It's destined to grow.
I hope so.
It's been a good unit. You all do a great job with it. Appreciate everything you do. Any last words for our drivers out there?
Just come check us out. I like to tell everybody we have a lot of fun with what we do. I've been doing it for a long time. I still have fun with it. I think we got a great little deal, and like I said, just check it out.
Well, that's good. Appreciate everybody listening in today. And, if you've got questions about OTL, find out. Reach out to somebody, get your questions answered, and it's a great opportunity. If you think this might fit your lifestyle, it's something to look at. Take a look at it, get into it. Like Scott said, go to the orientation. They'll get a lot of questions answered in those 2 days. Find out if it's for you or not. And if you're out there on the road, you're out there seeing stuff, and you see other drivers out there that really look like they're right Averitt, you need to go reach out to them too and use that People Like You program. We're going to need referrals this year. We're starting to grow. Everything's building back up. We're going to need more and more drivers, and those drivers that come in, they may be the ones that want to go to OTL. You may be recruiting an OTL driver for us and help us grow the business unit. So do all you can to help us on that. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all on the road. Appreciate you.